Hey everyone, it's Chad from the Colorado Giants. We are going to start putting up the hoops, the structures, the bows. It's time for step 5 in the process. Step 5, no, 6. Step 6. Stay tuned. As you can see here, it's a fairly straightforward process. What the greenhouse is made up of. It's obviously, let's see here. So it's the hoops, the Purlins, the hoops or the bows, the truss support. So these are the trusses of support, and then it has like a middle connector piece there, and that's really it. So each hoop is made up from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. These hoops will slide into the ground posts, and then they're connected together with purlins, but that's a separate step. So it's super easy to do. This will be a quick video, actually. So the directions say it is optional to put your truss supports in on the ground. I started to assemble some on the ground, and then I decided it'd be easier to do it up in the air, just because a lot of this I'm going to be doing myself, and the truss supports obviously make them heavier. But I just want to show you guys. So when you assemble them, or when you get your Dremel greenhouse, they're going to have marks on them. Blue marks are for purlins. Green mark is for the truss support. So you can see that I lined up the truss support right there on the green Sharpie that comes from the factory. So that makes it really easy. The top right there is red, and so on and so forth. The only thing that you really have to do that's not pre-done is mark where you want your purlin support right here, your truss support. So this needs to form a 90-degree angle, and I did that. I measured it out. For me, from the end of that piece to over here is 112.5 inches. So I marked that in red, just like the other one. So I went through and I did that on all of my pieces. These swage together here. This is not a single piece, this is 2 pieces, and they swage together there. The instructions say to put 2 tech screws in this to secure it, and I'll do that at a later date. But it's super easy. If you ever had a Erector set as a kid, all you do is bolt it together. So these are just 2 bolts that go in. So essentially, for this main structure to go together, it is held together by 2 bolts that swage into that connector right there, and that's it. I'll take that, and I will insert them into the ground posts, and then that's it. You connect them together with the purlins. So that there's really not any more to be said about that. I'll build a few more. I have a friend named Joelle coming. She's a neighbor and a giant pumpkin grower. She's going to come help today, and hopefully we'll get all of the hoops up today. For my greenhouse, it's a Dremel 34 by 72. That means I have 19 hoops in total, because they're every 4 feet over there. Every 4 foot will provide lots of strength for the wet snows that we are famous for here. So I'm gonna get to work assembling some of these, so when Joel gets here we can go ahead and throw them up. And here we go, Joel and I taking the assembled hoop frames and putting them into the ground posts. It's super simple, but you definitely have to have 2 people for this process. You kind of slide the one end in, and then you kind of have to bend the other one into the second ground post hole. But it goes really quick once you get kind of into a rhythm and you know what you're doing. And at this point, the 3 pieces that are getting put into the ground posts are only held together by 2 nuts and 2 bolts. So very simple, and very easy, actually. You just have to have a little help and a little preparation. All right, and now, as you can see, sure does look like we have a greenhouse, or the startings of a greenhouse behind us. I would say we're probably about a third of the way done at this point. A lot of the work was the ground posts, but Joelle was a huge help. I mean, I couldn't have done it without Joelle, so thank you so much to Joelle for coming and helping me. We got all the ground posts level, and then Joelle was still willing to help, so we went ahead and we put everything, all the hoops together, and we got them installed. you will probably see, if I haven't spliced it in already, us setting them up. It was super easy. You know, they are meant to have a little tension, so you could see I had to kind of lift it in and then put some pressure on it to get it to go into the hole. But that was really easy to do, and I was quite nervous about that. But I think it was easy to do because Emily and I, and with the help of Joelle, you know, we just did those first steps right. We did the foundation correctly, so building on that foundation was simple and easy to do and correct. So yeah, now we have to do all the purlings. And I can see in the directions, you know, in the directions it said that putting these up was optional, but I can see why you wouldn't want to do it. So what I'm probably going to do is drive my truck in here and put a ladder on my truck so that I can add all the purlings. So the purlings are going to go down the middle, you know, basically right there. I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing, right there. So each one, or there'll be 7 stringers of purling. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7 on the other side. So there'll be 7 runs of lateral support on this. And then once I'm done with that, then I can come back in and put the rest of the truss supports on there. So that'll do it for this one, I think. Maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, so we have what looks to be a greenhouse frame started in the works. Pretty excited about it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, get out there, grow a pumpkin.